Hi class, welcome back to our webinar presentation. I'm going to keep going through the slides here, and we're going to work on using some new tools that will help the class interact in the webinar. So last time we did our introduction, we did our expectations, the information overload, the expectations, and your participation as a active participant and student in the
Your line is now
webinar.
unmuted.
And last time we went over 3, which we once again is a 3 deep, 4 underneath, and 4-man front and 4-man rush. All right. So this is the slide we went over last time. Went over the top, the I pro left formation on top, and the I slot on the bottom. Now we're going to use a couple tools to not only quiz your knowledge of what we went over, and also help you learn the information more thoroughly. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to come over here to the chat box. I'm just going to start by just asking a couple simple questions. Anybody feel free. Actually, I prefer if everybody answer the question in their own way. So let's start with. Sorry. Alright, so we have what are the benefits of over 3 Nations. As you can see, I have a typo in there. With the chat box, just a reminder, spelling, grammar, and whatnot is not necessarily that important there, as long as we can tell what you're trying to say, because I know a lot of people are trying to type fast. So just feel free to go through there and answer the question, and we will discuss that as you type your answers in. So then after the students type their answers in here, I would go on to the next aspect, which is the whiteboard. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to screen share with you using this right here. I'm going to pull up a Google Doc that I have already sent everybody the invitation to. So here we are at our Google Doc, and we have our basic formation here. With the formation we went over, and the defense and generally where they're supposed to be, not necessarily exactly where they're supposed to be. So what I expect everybody to do here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions left on defense. I went through earlier and did the defensive line where they're supposed to line up. Now, so if you could just go through, and you can, as you can see here, you can move around the players. You can move them back or forward, and I want you to go through and insert like I did right here. Just a couple words saying what their particular job is on this play, run and pass. So here I will do how you do that. You take the text box here. I'm just gonna go like this. I'm gonna write, let's see, curl flat / force. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to move him up here. This is where he's supposed to be when the play begins, and I'll do the same thing. I'll move his title up like that. Move the corner back a little bit so you can see the whole drawing. So if everybody go through, and so now we have 6 positions left, and that's enough for everybody to do 1. Go through and just do what I did. We all kind of, if you switch over to, everybody can watch as we all go through. Once everybody's done with that, we'll flip back over to our webinar, and I'll ask another question here in the chat box. So first of all, if there's any questions or anything that's not clear about a question about where somebody's supposed to line up, what's one player supposed to do in the whiteboard, please ask the question now, so we can go back and we can go over it, and I can explain that to you. But if there's not any questions, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go to the next tool we're going to use here, which is the breakout room. what I've done here. In a second, I'll screen share again and bring you over to the other Google Doc that I've made. But first, so in the other Google Doc, I have 3 questions, and I'm going to assign groups, the 6 of you. So let's just say, for example, go. Question number 1 is Matt and Alex. And I'll go through and I'll give each person a question.
Your line is now unmuted.
Give each person a question, and then in this other Google Doc that I shared with you, we have a discussion question. So I want you guys to discuss this. There's question 1, question 2, and question 3. Take about 4 to 5 minutes and discuss those topics there. And while you're doing that, I will be over here at the chat box. I will be waiting for any questions you may have regarding the discussion and anything's unclear. And also, if you want to ask me a question by talking, just raise your hand. I will unmute you. You can ask a question the whole class can hear. So those are the 3 tools that we'll add for this webinar. Thank you for listening.